I'm an anthropologist on China studies. My name is Jinghong Zhang, and at the moment I'm working at the Southern University of Science and Technology based in Shenzhen, China. I'm also a visiting fellow with the China Studies Center of University of Sydney for July and August this year. So my major research interests cover two aspects. One is about food and consumption culture in China. So I use food and consumption as a media for me to see the broader issues going on in China, such as people's debates on nationalism, authenticity, political discourses, identity, these kind of things. And the other of my major research interest is visual anthropology or documentary filmmaking. So I use films as a way, for example, in my previous research on tea, to illustrate how tea is processed and traded and consumed in other places of China. And so in this way, films help me to show something that texts may not be able to do. During my visiting fellowship, I specifically look at a kind of comparison between Australia tea drinking and Chinese wine drinking. There are a lot of reasons for me to do this comparative study. But living in Sydney, on the one hand, I'm exposed to a lot of tea drinking phenomenon. And also I've been visited tea festivals, a lot of people, tea enthusiasts in Sydney. And to my surprise, I think there has already been sort of established, although very small, community for tea drinking in Sydney. So this is very, very useful and very precious opportunity for me. And on the other hand, because I'm looking at the rising wine consumption in China and living in Shenzhen, China, I've been doing some research and some interviews there, and then I expected to know more about the trade connection between Australia and China. So staying in Sydney, I was introduced to some wine people who are selling wine to China. And for example, just a few weeks ago, I visited the Hunter Valley, where I witnessed how some Chinese tourists came to this region to appreciate the landscape and also to appreciate the wine of Australia. And also, I've been able to talk to some people, some businessmen, traders who have developing interest in selling more wines to the kind of major market for Australian wine now.